What's good, YouTube? Freedom My Productions here, and I want to get my review for the Netflix series, the One Piece series. I just been watched the whole thing. Um, yeah, I did it overnight. Um, yeah, it went by pretty quick. I mean, it wasn't a hard watch, and I actually enjoyed the show. I know that's shocking to some people, but I actually enjoyed the One Piece series, man. The live action series, that is. And I want to take a minute to break down um, what I thought about most of the characters, our main characters, and things I really liked, and certain things I think going on to the future they could probably do better at. If that we do get a second season, hopefully we do get a second season, because I'm one of those rare people who liked the Cowboy Bebop live action series. A lot of people didn't like it, but it grew on me. The more I watched it, the more I actually liked it. And I wish they could have went on and did a second season, but the hate was real. So, I want to touch on our main character, and that's Monkey D. Luffy. The actor who played Luffy, I think he did a pretty good job. You could tell he has a heavy accent when he talks, when he's speaking English. I think he's from Brazil in real life, right? But you can tell he has an accent, and it's not too distracting. Like, I think like he has the right attitude. They kind of bring that Luffy goofiness, bring that Luffy, don't take things serious, always kind of goofy, kind of can be kind of stupid in a comedic way. I think he brings that out real well. Like they do in the anime or the manga. I think he has to build for Luffy. Dude, he's a tall, skinny dude, sort of like Luffy. He has to build because Luffy's not like a buff dude. Luffy's like this real skinny, stretchy kid. He's not this big buff Goku looking character. He's like your little average skinny dude until he goes to Gear 3 or something, but or Gear 4. But other than that, Luffy's just a skinny dude, and the actor, he fits it perfectly. He's a tall, lanky type kid, and I like how they changed the outfits too, like just like in the anime or the manga, like every little arc, Luffy and the crew, they change his outfits, the outfits changes and stuff like that. I thought that was kind of cool that he was matching the same outfits he would in the manga or the anime. I thought that was real cool. The fight scene was cool. I think the kid who played Luffy, I think he did a real good job with the fight scenes. How Luffy just really flexible and nimble, because he's made out of rubber, and Luffy just does a lot of flips, and he could do a whole bunch of jumps here and there, and I think the guy did really good on that, man. I think he did really good, and I think his acting's really good. When I first seen the trailer, I thought it was okay, but it had to grow on me. The more I watched the series, the more the actor did grow on me, and I think he's a pretty good Luffy. I think he's a good Luffy. The only thing I would say that kind of nitpick, I would say, when Luffy calls out, his punches, Gumma Gumma no. His accent make it sound weird. That's the only thing. His accent make it kind of weird. Like the Gumma Gumma no, it doesn't sound strong enough. You know what I mean? When he calling out his fights, it doesn't come out strong enough when he calling out his punches or his kicks and stuff like that. But that's just a nitpick. And then another nitpick I would probably say is just like like even when he does his little cheer, like Luffy goes his woohoo, or it's a little cringe. But overall though, I think he's a good Luffy, and I like what I've seen. Even the kid that played the younger Luffy, like each of our little main characters had their younger counterparts throughout the series, and I even think the younger Luffy, uh, yeah, he did a good job. The little kid did a good role. He did a good job. Uh, Another little nitpick though I would say about the younger Luffy was you could tell that the younger Luffy was a lot darker than the grown up Luffy, because I think they're all from Brazil. You know, Brazil has a huge high population of black people there, and a lot of them are just mixed. So you could tell the younger Luffy was more on the mixed black side than the older one was. But that didn't take me out of it or nothing. But you know, it's noticeable. But still, I think the younger kid did a good job too. And moving on to Zoro, you know, the first mate. I think the guy who plays Zoro, he looks like Zoro. He fits Zoro perfectly. And the fight scenes, he probably had some of the best fight scenes throughout the series. I mean, whenever Zoro was fighting, I was checked in 100%. I think the fight scenes were really good. And I know it's not easy fighting with two swords. So whatever stuntman or whoever they had doing like those little wide shots when you know it's not the actor doing that, man, they did a good job, man. And you know, him holding the sword in his mouth and stuff. I know the actor didn't want to do that, put that nasty shit in his mouth, but pause. But yeah, I think the Zoro character did real good. And even the younger version of Zoro, when they did the flashback, which was sad as shit. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the flashback was sad, and I think they did a real good job on the flashbacks. They even did a real good job on the Luffy flashbacks too, if I didn't say that. But yeah, the Zoro character was really good, and I think his attitude and everything, it fit perfectly, man. With I would say probably one of the best out of the show actually that mirrors the character from either the anime or the manga. You know, he brought that Zoro character to life. And then the other one too is Nami. I think Nami is probably the best who brought that character to life, because she was Nami, man. I could see Nami in her. I know a lot of people might complain that, oh, she's not as busty as Nami. That's for all y'all freaks out there who want to see, you know, the big-breasted Nami out there. You know, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Man, I get it. But come on, man. That's not the important thing. The important thing is if the actor can, you know, get the part down. And I think that the actress who played Nami, I think she's probably the best, who fits the character the best out of everybody on the show. And yeah, it felt like I was watching the anime or something. Like when she was on screen, it felt like I was actually watching that character. So yeah, she got Nami down pretty well. And I ain't gonna lie, you know, the classic scene when she asked Luffy to help me. Oh boy, I ain't gonna lie, I had them same feels that I had when I first watched the anime. And you know, Nami says that to Luffy. She turns around and say, "Luffy, help me." And Luffy takes the hat off, put it on the head. Oh my goodness, man, my eyes got watery, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, yo, that's that shit right there. That's that shit. That brought back those old feelings, man, from when I watched the anime years ago. And you know, and if you put the hat on, you're like, hell yeah. So yeah, love that part, man. And Nami was great. Usopp was cool. I think if you want to nail any character, I think Usopp would be the hardest, because Usopp is to like, he's like the comedy. Like, well, all of them are kind of, you know, got their own little comedic points, but like Usopp is really like the funny man at the group. You know, he's supposed to be super comedic and goofy, and you know, he's the liar and he's the prankster, and he's all those things. And I think his character would be like the hardest to portray in live action, because he's so cartoonish on paper and on in the anime. You know, his character is probably like the most Looney Tunes out of all of them. You know, but I think the actor who did him, he did all right. He wasn't bad or nothing, but he did okay. Um, he wasn't as funny as Usopp. The storytelling wasn't as good. Like the lies wasn't as extravagant as Usopp would tell in the manga or the anime. Usopp always had these like huge extravagant talking about he has 50,000 men in his command and all this other stuff. You know, the big balloon hammer and all this stuff like that. But I think he did okay. But yeah, I think Usopp would be the hardest to pull off. And even the little kid Usopp, it was cool. Ain't too much to say about Usopp. He was straight. He was straight. And then we have Sanji. I don't know who this actor is, but it looks like he could really fight. I wonder if he take martial arts for real. I ain't look it up and see, but I think the Sanji character was cool too. I think his fight scenes were really good. But he shows up like kind of towards the end of the series. But when he starts fighting though, just like when Zoro's fighting, man, I'm tuned in all the way, man. Some of his fight scenes was the best too. When it was fighting the Fishman, like some of those fight scenes was good, and you could tell some of it was like really the actor doing it. So that dude got some real martial arts skills. I'm like, man, who's this guy, man? You know. As far as the look though, I'm kind of disappointed they didn't give him the eyebrows. They didn't give him the spiral eyebrows or whatever. I'm surprised I never noticed that in the trailer, but he doesn't have the spiral eyebrows. But that so the look wasn't there all the way. But I'm surprised they had him smoking though. I'm surprised they had him smoking, cause I was like, oh, okay, he's not gonna smoke. This is like a kid show. Shit, he was smoking on there, and I was thinking it was a kid show. I was like, they're not gonna get too graphic. Like I think the first episode, Zoro cut a nigga head off, cut somebody in half. I was like, oh, okay, shit, they killing people on here. They was showing them actually killing people. I was like, oh. All right, Netflix. They were like, yeah, this ain't Disney, this Netflix. I'm like, all right, I feel you. But and the kid who plays the young Sanji, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the kid from the other Netflix show, Sweet Tooth, right? That's the Sweet Tooth kid, right? If y'all ain't seen this show, that's a great show. Y'all should watch this show. It's based off a DC comic where the kid grows antlers or something. He has antlers. But that's a great show. I think that's the Sweet Tooth kid. Like, I know he's a lot older in real life, but he looks a lot younger in this show. I'm like, when did they film this show? Because I know he looks older in the new season of Sweet Tooth, but he looks a lot younger in this series. So I'm like, man, they must have filmed this 2 years ago or something. But yeah, he looks a lot younger. But I have to say, the saddest flashbacks that really got me, of course, the Nami one's always going to get me. Well, that wasn't a flashback, but the Nami, Luffy helped me. But Sanji probably had like the saddest flashback when they were kids. The Zoro stuff was good. The Zoro flashback when his kid was good, but I think Sanji probably had like the best. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that kind of got me too. And those old feelings came back, like in the anime or whatever. When I first watched the anime years ago, you know. And who else we got? We got Shanks. Shanks was cool. I really enjoyed the red hair pirates. Red hair Shank pirates. I think they were cool. Like Usopp's dad, Yasopp, and Shanks, and they were all cool. I nothing negative to say about Shanks. I think the actor did a good job. I think the whole crew did a good job. I was surprised to see so many black people in the red hair pirates, but that was cool. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, nothing bad to say about that. I think the actor did play Shanks was good. Talk about Kobe. The actor who plays Kobe, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the same kid from that new Evil Dead movie, right? Evil Dead Rise. played the oldest son, right? Because I think in real life that kid is trans, right? It's a trans man, right? Because the whole time I'm looking at Kobe, I'm like, what? This actor looks so familiar. And I'm like, do they have a woman playing him? I kept thinking about it, and I was like, oh, that's that kid from Evil Dead Rise. Because I went to go see that movie this year. It was a pretty good movie. And I ain't gonna lie, I had the look spot on though. It looked just like the young Kobe. That look was spot on. The big glasses, everything. It looked like he jumped straight off the page with it. But yeah, Kobe was cool. Let's talk about Garp. Garp was probably the one I think differs a lot from what we know from the comic. I mean, from the manga or from the anime. I think they had to. I don't know. They couldn't adapt everything that Garp is in the manga or the anime. You know, Garp is always smiling. He's always laughing. You know, even when he's mad or pissed off, he still got that smile, that evil grin. But he's an authoritative figure, you know. But he still has that smile and all that. This Garp, even though he wasn't as like buff as the one from the manga or the anime, and I don't expect him nobody to be that big in real life, but this Garp is more serious. He's a more serious character in the series. He's not that goofy, almost like Luffy, where they'll punch each other and go to sleep, wake up, want to eat some food, you know, laughing all the time. This Garp is way more strict, more serious. He's more of a military man. You could tell they decided to go the more military route. They focus more on that side of his character. Instead of the goofiness of his character, they decided to focus on that, like the military part of him, the strictness, you know. And they kind of strayed away from the goofiness of the character. So I think his character is like a real big departure from what we know from the manga and the anime. I think his character is probably the biggest departure of that we've seen in the series. And didn't he have like I don't want to say it was a Scottish or Irish accent. I'm sorry if I'm screwing it up, but that kind of threw me off a little bit too. But because I'm not used to, you know, seeing Garp, thinking about Garp, and you hearing like this Irish or Scottish accent. I'm not sure which one it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but I think the actor was okay for what they gave him. I thought he did good. You know, it's a big, like I said before, it's a big departure from the Garp we know. This is Netflix's Garp. And these are Netflix's characters. They all a little different, but I think Garp just had the biggest departure. But I think he was good for what he was, man. You know, not knocking the actor or nothing like that. I think that for what it was, I think it was cool. He was cool, and he had some cool fight scenes too. Towards the end. Oh yeah, spoilers. It's a review. I'm spoiling everything. Who cares? Am I missing anything else? Am I missing somebody? I think I talked about everybody. Oh, Buggy. Buggy was okay. I'm not a fan of Buggy from the manga or the anime anyway. So, I really didn't care about Buggy character. Buggy's like hell of annoying to me. Like, he's like one of the worst characters from One Piece for me. And so, in the show, I guess he was alright. Whatever. You know, Buggy's just one of those, like, over-the-top stupid characters that everybody tends to like for some reason. Buggy's just whatever for me, man. He's whatever. But, yeah, man. I think the actor did okay. And that brings me to the special effects. In certain scenes, the special effects are really good, and then certain scenes, the special effects are bad. Like I think when they showed the Sea King and like some of the establishing shots you see of like these little fake towns and stuff like that, I think that's pretty good. But some of the CGI special effects is bad when you get to some of the Luffy stuff, like some of the stretching and some of the moves Luffy do. It looks pretty bad. You could tell the budget was like hella limited, and yeah, and like some of the like some of like just not only Luffy though, but like certain things like it was like a scene where Luffy knocks down Arlong Park or whatever. He knocks down the big building, and the smoke coming from the building looked real fake when it was surrounding them. It looked like just like some CGI stuff and just little stuff like that. It's not a big deal. I know they don't have no Marvel in-game money where they're gonna spend like $500 million like on some Avatar stuff. You know what I'm saying? Special effects. This ain't James Cameron. I know that, but yeah, here and there the special effects can look good at certain points, and then they're really wonky at other points. But that's just another nitpick or whatever. What else I want to talk about? I forgot to talk about Arlong and Arlong Pirates. It was funny because I'm sitting there watching Arlong, and they really threw out the whole the prejudice that happens against the Fishman, and I'm like, and I kind of felt this way too when I read the manga. When I read the manga, when we talk about the prejudice that happens with the Fishman and stuff, you can already tell it's like it's a play on racism. I think Oda knows, and I think he intentionally put it in there. It's sort of supposed to be like a mirror of the racism a lot of black people faced in America with slavery, and then a lot of the Jim Crow stuff that happened out afterwards, and the racism we face today. So it's a lot of symbolic stuff in it like that, and especially in this One Piece series, they really brought that out to the point to where I was looking at Arlong. I'm like, is Arlong supposed to be black? He had the gold chain and he had the perm, and at certain points, I swear they were listening to hip hop. I ain't never heard rap in a One Piece anime. Well, if you go to the English dub version, they had a One Piece rap, but I swear they were listening to hip hop at one point when they're like at the park and he's throwing a party. And I'm like, damn! I thought I seen some damn Jordans on Arlong's feet. I'm like, god damn! Arlong got some Jordans on. He's at a kickback right now, at a barbecue. But yeah, and the makeup on some of the Fishman was good. Some of them were bad. Some of them look kind of goofy. But that's how One Piece characters look in general, though. Some of these characters are like so weird looking that it's gonna come off looking goofy. No matter how you try to do it in live action, it's gonna be almost impossible. And you could tell they left out a couple of characters from the Fishman Pirates because I think they just didn't have the budget for it. Like the octopus swordsman Hachi, I think that was his name. Was it Hachi? What was his name? But the octopus swordsman though. I'm sorry, man, I can't think his name right now. I'm on the spot. But yeah, he had like all the tentacle arms and the sword blade that Zoro was supposed to be fighting with. They couldn't do it, so they just cut him out completely. So I understand why, man. They just didn't have the budget for it. Or at least now, if they get a second season, maybe they get a bigger budget. Maybe Netflix see that people are actually gonna watch the series, and they'll put more money behind it. But yeah, let me see if there's anything else. I think I hit on all the people I really want to hit on. Overall, I think the overall, I think the series was good. I binge watched it. You know, I didn't have to struggle through it. It wasn't like a chore to watch it. I watched it. I enjoyed it for what it was. You know, I know it's not a duplicate of the manga or the anime. You know, I know a lot of the content was condensed into smaller pieces, and they kind of mixed them together. So they kind of mixed some of the arts together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I know some people, that's going to piss some people off. But of course, One Piece is a long running series. It's over 1,000 some chapters. It's over 1,000 some episodes in the anime. There's no way that they can tell all that story, you know, live action. No way. That'd be impossible. It's too long, man. So that's why they condensed it down a lot. And I know some people gonna have a problem with that, but we gotta understand, this is Netflix's One Piece, and it's gonna be different. It's always gonna be different when you take something that was never intended to be live action, like a manga or something, and you try to do a live action version. It's always gonna be different, or a cartoon. You know, it's gonna be different. It's never gonna be spot on. And for what they did, I think it was okay. You know. But yeah, I'm curious of how people gonna take that, and what people gonna think about that, about them joining different arcs together, you know, and shortening some arcs and stuff like that, and even skipping out on a lot of characters we didn't get, and I wonder how people are gonna feel about that. A lot of characters they probably just didn't have the budget for, or they just felt like just wouldn't look good live action wise, you know. So we'll see how people feel about that. And oh yeah, Usopp got a kiss in the show. I didn't see that coming, because she never kissed him in the manga or anime, right? But we knew it was like some kind of love connection thing going there. But you know, they never kissed or nothing like that, because Oda, he doesn't do romance, right? I think Oda said he don't like writing romance in his manga or something like that. But who knows? And at a certain point, it seemed like even Nami might have a thing for Zoro. I don't know. That might just be me, but the way her and Zoro kept looking at each other, I was like, hey. But I know a lot of people try to ship her with either Luffy or Sanji, but in the series, I ship her with Zoro, man. Tell you the truth. But yeah, I know One Piece is not about no ships or nothing like that, though. I'm just saying. But overall, yeah, man, I think the series was good, man. I think it was good, and we'll see, man. We'll see how the people take it. Let me know what y'all think about it. You know, just address anything I said. What you think I said was right. What I said was wrong. Please, you know what I'm saying, correct me if I said anything that, you know, that was wrong or whatever. And just let me know what you think down below on everything. And I'm just really curious to see what people got to say about this. And it's a big diverse cast. And that's one more thing I want to hit before I go. The cast is really diverse, right? There's a lot of different races and ethnic groups in this, not just Japanese. And before anybody get mad, this is the way Oda seen it, right? Oda said that when he was making One Piece, and he said if these characters existed in real life, these are the places they would be from. Like Luffy would be from Brazil, Usopp would be from I forgot what he said, like Caribbeans or South Africa or something like that, right? That he imagined him like it's a black guy, and Sanji would be white, and Nami would be white, and so you know, Zoro's based off a Japanese character. So like these are the way that Oda would envision these characters are looking if they wanted to be live action. So don't get mad and be like, oh man, this is woke, man. This is some woke crap, man. This is woke. It's not. It's really not. Everything's not woke because something you don't like, something you disagree with, you just want to put a woke term on it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. This is the way Oda would envision the characters to look, and it's the way they look. This is a manga slash anime where characters have extra long arms. They're weird, different colors. There's fishmen all different colors. These people could be from anywhere. These characters look weird, and yeah, I like the diversity. I had no problem with it, and because the author had no problems with it. If Oda's cool with it, and this is his baby, this is his creation, I'm cool with it. And anybody else want to put some woke crap on it, then just stop reading the manga at this point, man, because this is what Oda wanted. But anyway, yo, man, this is Freedom Mouth Productions, man. I talked long enough, man. Thanks for sitting this out with me, man, and hopefully we'll get a season 2. Hopefully it does good enough, man. We get a season 2, and they put more money behind it, and we see bigger, better characters. You know, they gave us an Easter egg at the end with Smoker. And you know what that means? That means we might get Ace and what, Crocodile. So, yeah, man. Thanks for watching, man. Freedom Mouth Productions, and until next time, man. The One Piece is out there, man. Just gotta find it. The One Piece is real. I'm out. Peace.